Welcome to Soul Connect. I am your host, Dr. Daisy Lekharu. I'm a public health specialist, a life transformation coach, a singer, lyricist, author, poet, writer, artist, and also an expat for more than a decade now. Today, we will touch a new thread as I bring you another episode of Soul Connect. The episode is called Winds of Change, Life of a Trailing Spouse, Expat Minds. Before we begin, a big thank you to the ones who have already subscribed to the channel. It is awesome to be connected with you. For those who have not, please do click the subscribe button. It means a lot to me to be connected with you. Let's begin this new thread. We know who expats are. Someone who has moved out of their home country and settled abroad due to XYZ reasons. Some go by choice, some go as trailing partners or trailing spouses. I have been one. Today, we will talk to someone who walked that path, lived in the shadows, but made a space for herself, made it big. She's a great example and inspiration for all. We will explore with her how expat lives can be. The moment someone knows you as an expat, it is perceived that life of an expat is really wow, fascinating, exciting, rich, lavish, and all the great adjectives. What is this wow? Is it really so? Let us find out from her life. She has lived a full circle, a real story of a trailing spouse, story of never giving up, story of exploring, story of reinvention, story of resilience, story of winds of change. Today, I converse with a magnificent and magnanimous personality whom I really adore and respect. Introducing Seema Uplekar from Mumbai in Maharashtra and the western part of India. Let's listen to her. Hello, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Welcome our viewers. Welcome to this edition of Soul Connect with me. Today I have with me Seema ji, whom I really love and respect, and I really adore her. She's here with us. She's come all the way from India on her next trip of her journey in her life. She's led a full circle from India to Switzerland and back. So welcome Seema ji to this edition of Winds of Change, a journey through expat life. You are a true embodiment of who an expat is, but you've actually completed the full circle and now you're on a different journey. So welcome once again. I am happy to have this conversation with you. Thank you for giving your time to actually join me here today, and also for all our viewers and listeners. Let's start with the beginning. There was a moment when you knew you were leaving home, which was home to you back in India. So it was not just a physical movement, but you also had to emotionally transport yourself to another world. It was a leap, I'm sure, and I had also been part of this leap. It wasn't easy for me. But how about you? How was your leap from back home in India then to Switzerland? And then we will talk about your next part of the journey, but happy to hear, how was that change for you? Any reflections, your thoughts, you had any, your first impressions, you were excited, you had any fears, you look forward to challenges, so many questions.
Yeah, I still remember the day when we took the flight to Geneva from Bombay, and this time it was going to be our new home in Geneva because my husband got a permanent position in WHO and we decided to come here lock, stock, barrel with our daughters. One was going to the university, another will be going to the school here. So the leap was really both challenging and I was excited. At the same time, I was a bit nervous. So as you know, we were in middle ages of, I mean, you can say we were in a midlife crisis sort of, but I would say a positive one, because this was going to, we knew that this is going to enhance everyone's life. It would be better for my husband's career, it would be good for my daughter's education, and of course I am the person who can be happy anywhere I go, and I like to connect with others anywhere I go. I mean, I have no problem with change, basically.
That's great to know. I mean, so you had prepared yourself in your mind and, in all aspects to make that shift, make that change. That's great to know. It's not easy to do that, and also the fact that you mentioned that you were forward looking and looking at the positive changes it would bring to your life, to your children, and also career enhancement, but also in the larger picture, your family would be happier probably with the better things that you were looking forward while being here. So that's great. Did you have any fears in your mind while you were also kind of positive? I know you're a very positive person and I know you for so long, but did you have any fears that you were kind of grappling with inside your mind? And I know you must have been also preparing for them, but did you really have any fears as well?
No, not any deeper fears as such, but language was the barrier, because I didn't know French at all, and that time nobody would speak English, and there was no internet then where I can just Google Translate, or there were no cell phones where I can just find information at hand, because even buying a thing like microwave oven or a dishwasher or washing machine, all the instruction bulletins were in either French, Italian or Spanish, German. So I mean, for us they were all foreign languages, we didn't know anything, so it was a bit difficult. But as I said, no fear, no deeper fears, because I had prepared myself not to be homesick, because my earlier experience way back in 89 when my husband was at Harvard was I was too homesick then, as my daughters were just 5 years and 1.5 years, and that was the first time I left India, left my parents back home. So I became really homesick, and I had developed thyroid during then. But this time I had warned myself not to make the same mistake. And earlier when we landed, I used to go out every day and not to feel alone at home. But slowly I realized that I was making a mistake. I should be able to relax in my home, and I should start enjoying sitting quietly at home and reading something or reflecting. So that's how I learned.
That's great. So you taught, you mentioned that you're open to change, and you mentioned that you're a very positive person, and I also hear from you that you made yourself settle down in this new place, right? You said you had challenges of language. Just to let you know that these days the leaflets and the other things, the pamphlets that comes with different materials also have content in English, and you might have also seen the change as well. One other aspect is, in coming from India and coming from Maharashtra, which is in the southwestern part, listeners, for you, it's in the southwestern part of India. It's a huge province, one of the great ones. And how about social connections? How about social connectivity? Did you feel like a fish out of water when you came out of this crowded place in India, and then you came to this place which is, you have social connectivity, but it is different. So how did you manage that part of it?
Yeah, building social connections in the beginning was very difficult. As you mentioned, I came from Mumbai, which is a town which is 24/7 people are going around. And here in Geneva, I used to stand in my balcony and watch, when will I see the next car, or when will I see the next person walking on the road, and especially on weekends, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, no one has passed. So that used to be really, sometimes it would not be very elevating my mood, you know. It would make me little nervous in the beginning, but then I started enjoying it. And now when I go back home and I see so many people, I say, oh, why are there so many people? What are they all doing here?
How did you manage your language barrier?
I used to walk with the dictionary 24/7 for almost a year, and I would try to communicate by my body language. And it's a hilarious incident that once I went to buy Matchbox and I forgotten my dictionary, and I played dumb charades with that fellow in the store. I kept on lighting the cigarette, lighting the match, but he didn't make any effort, and he said Shepa. And this Shepa was such a frightening phrase for me, but then I realized Shepa means I don't know. Actually, you say Je ne sais pas, that I don't know this. But now there are people here coming from Italy, from France, from Germany. So everybody has a different accent and a different style to speak. So it took some time to get to know everything, all the nuances of the language.
So Matchbox, Je ne sais pas. Okay. And then you learned with your walking dictionary, and then you picked up your French. Great. And then you made your way here for so long. That's great. Bravo. Did you ever feel that you're losing a part of yourself while you actually moved out of your cozy home back there? Or do you think you actually found new ones along the way? Or how was that feeling for you?
Oh, definitely. I have changed as a person. I would say I have grown as a person, and Switzerland has given me so many opportunities. I won't say I lose myself in any way, because I always manage to have connections back home with my friends, my family. So there I won't say I was unhappy about that. And as I told, I never mentioned, but we landed here in 1999, and that time there was no mobile phone, there was no internet. So that initial time was a bit hard on me, but then once with the onset of internet and social media, I mean, the world has really become like a global village, and sometimes I talk to friends 2-3 times a day with my family, and I know everything about them, they know everything about me. So actually the distances have disappeared.
Right. So living between the two worlds, did you also have thoughts around, sometimes living as an expat also means living in two different worlds, and sometimes you feel in between. I have felt in between sometimes. So how did you navigate the feelings of, who am I? Where do I belong to? It's sometimes you mentioned about, missing home, feeling homesick. How did you grapple with all of that? Did you actually have those kind of thoughts in your mind?
Yes, because the life here is completely different from the life back home. I mean, this is an affluent society, it's a rich country, and now of course India is coming up. We cannot say it's a developing country, it's almost developed in many aspects. But when I came here, the very next building to my place was being built, and I could see the workers. They had uniforms, they had a container where they had dining table, they had a temporary toilet, they had all the facilities. I mean, I didn't see they had any problems working here. They were taken care of. And I used to think, what must be happening with my poor worker working there, and the poor mother who is carrying her baby with her, and at the same time carrying load on her head.
Right.
But that's life, you see. You cannot compare all the time.
Right.
That is life there, this is life here. And then I saw so many aisles of dog food and cat food, and I will be reminded of people in African region who are starving and some poor people back home in India, and there would be date best before. Even today my daughters, they just look at the date and throw the food, so it is really hurtful. But that's the date which is best before. So it's not that if you eat that anything is going to happen, and I have experienced that.
So how does it feel to be back again?
Oh, it's wonderful. I never imagined that someday I would say that this is my second home. And it's very good to be back, because now I get to enjoy best of both the worlds. And see, when I say best of both the worlds, I have a cook at home, I have sometimes a driver on call, and then I have a 24/7 maid with me, so which I couldn't afford here. And when I was here, I realized the value of the milkman and the paper fellow and the laundryman and the grocer, everybody. I mean, I had never given much thought to them earlier, but when I came here and now when I have gone back, I look at them I mean, of course, their jobs are dignified, no way, but it took that realization to be here and do the same manual work here.
Right.
Yeah.
That brings me to another thought which has been there. So people, when they hear the word expat, it's like beautiful worlds where people live in, and especially when you tell the name of Switzerland or whichever country it is, I mean, they just imagine beautiful pictures, beautiful sceneries, like the way we put our lovely pictures on social media, the way we share, because we like to share the happy moments and the great moments, but there is life behind those nice, sweet, happy moments as well. Do you think the life of an expat, and you've lived it, you're still living it, but you've done a full circle, do you think the life of an expat is mesmerizing? It's awesome all the time, it is grandiosity all the time, you have lavishness all the time, and life is just simply great. Is it something like that, or what do you think? How is life?
No, life can never be the same. I mean, we always say, as the coin has two sides, life also has two sides, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but that's c'est la vie. So we take that into stride and we move on. There are so many advances here, technological advances and economical advances. This is a rich country, so they take care of each and every small detail when they think about the transport, or when they think about children's school, or I mean, your day-to-day living. It's, I would say, impeccable here. But at the same time, there are other aspects also in Geneva, which I was very shocked when I landed here in '99. I happened to read that there was illiteracy among women, and I was really shocked. And on inquiry, I came to know that because many of the families have their family farms and they are into agriculture, they didn't think it was necessary for the women to have higher education. Now it's changing.
Yes.
And now you see women are also getting educated. They got voting rights, though late compared to India. They got it very late, but now they have voting rights. I was just browsing through the statistics now to see what's the situation now. And even today there are 16% people who cannot read and write here. Also, because I was working in the NGO field, I came to know that there are about 40% of all the cases reported to police fall into domestic violence. So domestic violence is also still visible. I would say visible to police, but not to people, because there are many cases which go unreported, and I mean, that's like everywhere. Switzerland is no different in that
Yes.
aspect.
That surprises me always, and probably some of us ourselves are also responsible for not reporting, because this is what we do, and that is our normal tendency not to report things which need to be reported. So I think this is also a call for action for us, and others, to also report wherever there are cases of domestic violence. And I think it's very important. Sometimes domestic violence may not be physical for people to know; it could also be mental. But I think it's very, very important.
Yeah,
to be
that's
reported.
in fact more harsh.
Yes.
Emotional violence.
Yes,
Is
it is not
bitter.
reported because you don't talk about it, you don't record it when it's actually happening, so you don't know how to also report it. But it's very, very important that it needs to be reported. Talking about that, and touching upon those aspects, I also know that you were engaged in a lot of activities while you were here, those decades. Tell us some of your experiences of working in the NGO sector and the different work. I think you also work quite a bit on mental health, but I would like to hear more from you, so the people will also know more about the work.
Yes.
One of the most important aspects of health in general, mental health, is so critical. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, when I was here, I was attached to two international NGOs. One is International Alliance of Women. This NGO was established in 1904, and this NGO is by the women, for the women, and we basically work for policy, advocacy, and women empowerment. And as you know, all women issues are cross-cutting, so you can talk about health, agriculture, water, whatever. I mean, no aspect goes untouched. Women are suffering in every field.
Yeah.
So, and another NGO is United Nations Women's Guild. This is by women spouses. This is for spouses of the UN staff.
Okay.
So we do fundraising for children, and we hold a bazaar in United Nations campus every November. And because we have members from 110 countries, there are many ambassadors' wives who are our members. So they get handicrafts from their country, and they put up restaurant stalls also. So on one day you can get around 40-50 different country food, and same with handicrafts. So it's a very popular event, and people buy their Christmas gift. Then we have another event which is Children's Walk that we held in United Nations. We have a designated path for that, and children from different Geneva school come and walk there. So we have children from almost kindergarten to 10th, 11th grade, and their parents or family sponsors them, friends. And suppose my child walks 4 kilometers, and then I can say, okay, I'll pay 25 per kilometer. So I'm paying 100 francs.
Right.
So we collect a lot of funds on the Children's Walk Day, and they are given as scholarships for 5 years to different people. And one advantage of this is that the children learn about other children of their same age group who are living in other countries, and they learn about the difficulties they are facing, and they become aware. So this is very satisfying, both for us, because we are conducting the event, but even children, they are very happy that they are doing their bit by supporting this children's walk.
That's great to know about the work around children and helping them also in educating other children as well, and your work around fundraising and supporting the ones in need as well. Tell us more about your work around mental health.
Yes, as I said, I joined this NGO and I was their UN and WHO representative, and you can say I was literally hungry to collect all the information and as much as knowledge I could in the beginning. So I would attend meetings at ILO, UNICEF, WMO, WTO, WIPO, everywhere, and I was literally absorbing like a sponge. But then I realized that this was so much information and I was not getting anywhere. So I thought I should focus on something. And as I was attending meeting with the WHO and mental health department since 2005, I decided why not focus on mental health, because that's a very critical area. Even today we have scarcity of mental health professionals all over the world. So I decided to translate the mental health guide published by WHO into Marathi, which is my maternal language. And WHO director was very happy because the population in Maharashtra is more than 12 million people. So he knew that it would reach to many people, and this particular guide is meant for primary healthcare doctors and village health workers. So it would reach to ground level and it can help poor people in Maharashtra.
That's great to know, and it's a great resource in Marathi. We will share with the viewers when we put the link there, so that you can access the document as well. I hope it will also be translated into English for other people also.
No, it's already in English.
It's also
I translated from English to Marathi.
Right, okay.
And so it was not there in all the UN official languages then.
Right.
After my translation, a French translation is also now available.
Right. That's very helpful to know, and then that's a great resource. Now I would like to move something which came to me as a surprise, and this is something that I would like to share with the viewers. This is called, as you can see, Boundless. Be like a clear sky, mind without a cloud. This is the memoir of Seema ji, who's with me here today. Seema ji, I would like to, it's a wonderfully written memoir, and I think very few people have been fortunate to read it, and I'm one of those, and I'm very lucky to have this. Beautifully written, beautifully expressed, her whole life. She's poured her heart out into this. What inspired you to write your memoir, and was it easy for you to write, or was it difficult? Because to pour yourself out into the world, sometimes you have to think many times before you share everything. So what went into your expressing your life in the form of a memoir, and what made you do that?
No, it was not difficult because I was comparing both India and Switzerland every day since I landed here, and I thought that I should share my deep buried emotions and my hurt and pain with people, because all of us go through this in our life, and some of us can be expressive, some of us can talk about it, others hesitate, but then everybody's life is an adventure. Everybody goes through ups and downs in their life. So I thought, why not share it with others? And there have been few major instances in my life which changed the course of my life. Like moving here was one of them, but others also. So I thought, why not write them down and share it with my friends and close family. And because basically but there was always some curiosity among people back home, because they think like Switzerland is a haven, and everybody would think that I would be floating on clouds all the time, but it's not so. I mean, it's like any other country, and when you are living here, it's like you have to do all your daily chores, and there is no help here, as I mentioned earlier. So I thought, why not write it down specifically and share it with everybody. And I have done few courses online on various topics. One of that was creative writing, and as that I wrote these memoirs because I wanted to express.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So viewers, please have a copy of this, and it's a must read for all of you, and I hope you will generously share with the wider world and not just with a few of us who are fortunate to have this. There are many beautiful chapters in this. I don't know if you would like to talk about any of these, with the audience, and they might learn something from it. I leave it up to you, but it'll be great to hear, some of the anecdotes that you've mentioned here, which are very close to you. I know they are all very close to your heart and they've poured out of your heart. But are there anything? Do you want to pick up something from your memoir which you want to share?
Yes, I would definitely share about my spiritual experiences, because as it is, you all know that we are very much living in a silent world here. There are hardly any noises. I mean, first time when my mother-in-law visited here, she says the birds don't chirp here, the dogs don't bark, the children don't cry.
No.
So it was really, I mean, we were not able to understand the life here, because it's a completely different lifestyle the people here have and back home. Then my husband used to go on duty travels a lot, and my daughters were busy with their school and universities. So I used to be alone at home. So it was like sitting in silence most of the time. But then I thought I must not just waste my time sitting in silence.
Right.
It was a good time to reflect upon my life and what was happening around, not only with me particularly, but people around and the world around, you see. Even now, if you see, there is war going on, there are air crash happening, and there are so many bad things happening around the world. So it always kept me.
So you started meditating.
Yes.
Where did you learn meditation from?
I did few courses in Vipassana.
Right.
And back home also in India, because my family, we have a tradition of sitting in meditation, and we have guru, and basically all the saints in Maharashtra, I can talk about saints from Maharashtra, not other parts, I am not much aware about that. But all the saints in Maharashtra, see, we have a saying like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we said. Vasudha is the earth, and we all are like a family. And I literally experienced that coming here, because every day on a day-to-day basis I used to interact with people from so many different nationalities. Even when you are going in a bus, some African is sitting next to you, somebody from Spain is sitting next to you. And I developed this very funny habit. I would stand in my balcony and I would try guessing people, because for us everybody was white in the beginning. But then I started, oh, this lady must be Russian from her well built. Oh, this lady must be Spanish, or this man must be from Germany. So, I mean, this was a very good time pass for me, and most of the time I was right, because whenever I used to go around with friends, I would confirm some of my, I would confirm my, what do I say, doubts with them. And I was right. Then, now I have come back to Geneva. This is after 2 years. But I met few of my friends when I visited Amsterdam after 10 years.
Feels great, no?
It was great. And what I found most amazing was the camaraderie that we had between us. It hasn't changed even a bit. I mean, as if the distance of 10 years disappeared. And I never expected this with my so-called foreigner friends, you know. Back home with friends in India, we grew up, we went to college together, we shared same culture. But here, everything is different. We don't share the same past with our friends. But still, that friendship, that love is there.
Yeah, I relate to so much that you've said. You know, I come from Assam, which is in the northeastern part of India, as you are aware, and also for friends who are listening to and watching this podcast also to know. And I grew up in a multicultural community. I've always worked in multicultural organizations, but the fact that you said that, you know, when you look at people, you can identify from which part of the world they belong to. And the world feels very small here, so you know people not, you know, who are from your own country, from different parts, but from the whole world, and the world feels like a small village now, you know, and then you feel so connected. It's amazing, right? So yeah, I mean, everywhere in the world, we are the same people. We belong to different countries, different cultures, but I think we are so similar in so many aspects.
Yes.
We do have some of our reservations, but it is part of our culture that we actually grow up. But I think despite all of that, we still can live as a family, and it really feels amazing.
Yes.
Right. So, yeah, thank you so much for sharing, your memoirs and your reflections on that. I really loved reading it. They're beautiful chapters. I also have seen that you've written beautiful poems, verses, and I really connect with so many of them. Is there anything that you would like to read as a verse, for our audience? And is there anything that you actually like from anything that you have written?
Yes, of course, I like all my
You
poems.
also sing, I know, but it'll be nice if you either sing and you tell a verse to our audience. I think people will just love it.
Yes, I would like to read a poem which is based on Mandela's saying and African American and also our great South African Mandela and King. Oh, sorry, I have become so forgetful these days. Excuse me for that.
Martin
Luther King. Yes,
Okay.
you said it.
Yes.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
So, why I particularly like this poem is that even in today's day and age, I have seen people being discriminated on the basis of their color, on the basis of where they come from, on the basis of education, their culture, their religion, which I feel is really futile. Because as you said earlier, we are all human. God created us all equal.
Right.
This is us, foolish human, who have separated, who have put barriers among us.
Yeah.
So, this poem is very close to my heart and I'll read it. This is the endless struggle of equal rights, democratic free voice, the endless struggle of equal rights, democratic free voice, a far-fetched dream from King to Mandela, carried on with no choice. Unfortunate, but carried on with no choice. Love of poor is not enough. Love of poor is not enough, as fear of rich outweighs. As fear of rich outweighs. Come, O Masiha, with the arc of morality. Come, O Masiha, with the arc of morality, free us, perilous ghost overweighs. Free us, perilous ghost overweighs. King, imagine an arc of justice. King, imagine an arc of justice, though in reality it's stressed injustice. King, imagine an arc of justice, though in reality it's straight injustice, bending towards malice. Bending towards malice. Wake up from oblivion, the cultured world. Wake up from oblivion, the cultured world. Have you been a coma forever cold? Have you been in a coma forever cold? A square meal a day and $1 a day. A square meal and $1 a day is like a dream, dream which never may. Unarmed truth and unconditional love. Unarmed truth and unconditional love. We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
Thank you very much. That's really lovely. And that was really powerful words to hear and really awesome. And last but not the least, I'm also a public health specialist and a life transformative coach. And I wanted to end up also with touching upon again the concerns around mental health. We said, expat lives are not always beautiful as you actually see. because we like to share the beautiful moments. We don't like to share the other part of our journey with the world, because as we do so, we keep on grappling with the other side of it as well. So what is your thought? I've seen friends, I've had, colleagues who actually go through mental health issues, being expats, living out of their countries and being outside. They have been through different kinds of challenges of different, magnitude. What is your thoughts about that?
Yeah, this is an important aspect, important question, because even people working in UN and other UN agencies, I have seen that UN policies are such that many of their employees go through mental stress because they are given some short-term contract. They are not sure whether they'll get a permanent position. Then what happens with the children, their wife? Sometimes it's here, sometimes they are back home. So they never have the feeling of settlement. And
So
there
it's
is
very
always
important.
insecurity.
So it's very important that when you don't feel good in the mind, you should speak about it.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
We often say that let's talk, but I think we often fail to find somebody who would listen to us when we want to talk. Don't you feel like that sometimes?
Yes, we all should develop the habit of being a good listener.
Yes.
And also being non-judgmental.
Absolutely.
Because all of us at the end of the day don't have so-called private lives.
Yes.
Our private lives are so entangled, and the whole universe is one. We are sharing the same earth. We don't come from a different planet. So we all have to learn to cohabit.
Great. So being an expat can be easy, can be difficult, but it has its own, it has its own journey, its own life. But we have to create it, we have to shape it. But there are winds of change, and when you go through the journey of an expat, who's leading a different life from what you live in your own country. Thank you very much, Seema ji, for joining us on
Thanks
this
for
conversation.
inviting me.
And it's been great to have this honest conversation with you. It's been a real pleasure to connect with you. And thank you everyone for listening to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaste.
The expat experience is not just about moving countries. It is much more than that. It is an emotional and mental shift that really redefines who we are. For those who are listening, whether you're thriving, struggling, or contemplating this leap, remember, you're not alone. Do seek connection. Change is constant in our life. Do embrace the change. And most importantly, take care of your mind as much as your passport. Thank you for joining me on this podcast today and listening, and hope this has touched your heart and mind in some way or the other, or at least struck a string or chord somewhere. For those who haven't yet subscribed, please do click subscribe. It'll be great to be connected with you. Do share your comments and reflections, and for those of you who are already expats with different journeys, it'll be great to hear your stories as well. I'm your host, Dr. Daisy Lekharu, signing off for now, and I will see you soon with another episode. Till then, take care of yourself, keep exploring both the worlds and your life. I will see you soon. May you always have friendship, love, and peace in your life wherever you are today and forever and always. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Merci. Obrigado. Asante. Danke. Gracia. Siecie. Shukran. Efcharisto.